The financial literacy and I think the business acumen of athletes is growing. More and more athletes are coming to terms with the fact that it's important to be proactive and take initiative to be more than an athlete.
This is another episode of The Winning Formula. We're here at the Subaru Park home for the Philadelphia Union, and I'm very excited to be chatting with the captain of Philadelphia Union, Alejandro Bedoya, today. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to have you. Welcome to Philly.
So, Ali, since we're here at the Subaru Park, I wanted to hear a little bit about your soccer journey and how you ended up here with Philly Union.
Yeah, absolutely. So my parents are both from Colombia. My father immigrated here to play actually collegiate soccer here in the States. And so from a very early age, I was kicking balls around in the house, in the backyard. And I just had a passion for the game. I loved it. I ended up at Boston College in the ACC. And from there, I was able to graduate and go straight to Europe. I went to Sweden. And then I ended up playing for clubs in Scotland, Glasgow Rangers, and then in France for FC Nantes and Liga. And then throughout that time I was in Europe, I was also representing the USA, US men's national team. The privilege of playing in the World Cup, the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, representing the USA. And then after that, I returned to the States and I came here to Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Union signed me in the summer of 2016, and I've been here ever since.
Obviously, MLS has experienced tremendous growth and popularity in the past couple of years. Since you've joined the league, what evolution have you witnessed?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I've been in the league almost 10 years now, and I've seen it grow dramatically. You know, when I first came to this club, you can't even compare even the town level and the amount of growth that's happened, you know, on and off the field, you know, in terms of sponsorships, partnerships. So the league continues to grow in a good way. There's more and more younger talent coming into the league from all over the world. Teams have gotten a lot smarter. We talk about startups and data and tech and everything, all these different companies that are now being a part of MLS. The whole ecosystem is you know, from the youth, the grassroots level down all the way to the professional it keeps growing and growing every year. So it's an exciting time to be part of MLS.
What impact do you think these well-known international players have on the development of the league? Obviously, there's many big international names like Messi, Suarez, Busquets joining the league recently.
Yeah, I think for sure. Look, for me, I'm a big Messi fan in terms of the career, the way he's carried himself. For me, he's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And so to have a legendary player like him in our league is fascinating.
Many well-known international players join MLS after they've had a very successful career overseas. What do you think is missing for MLS to attract the elite players more earlier on in their career to become this premium spot for top talent?
The league has grown carefully in a good way and shown, you know, obviously steady growth. You see a lot more institutional capital coming into the league. You know, the expansion fees have become super high now at levels that are unforeseen, really. So as the league continues to, what I like to say, I guess, to take the training wheels off with the salary caps and loosen some of these other rules. You know, we got a new CBA coming up in 27 that I think is going to be an important marker of where the league is in terms of health-wise. That is going to allow more and more clubs and ownership groups to pursue players and pay them, you know, what they're worth. I think in order for the MLS to truly become that league of choice, you know, unfortunately, money is a big part of it.
When you're looking at the league, where do you think it's heading in the next decade?
In the next decade, yeah, that's a fascinating question. It's very interesting to see what's going to happen post World Cup. I hope that, you know, similar to how the '94 World Cup actually set up to build MLS what it is today, I hope that it'll be an inflection point where more and more Americans are going to want to be part of soccer, are going to be watching MLS. What's going to be very interesting is to see how the new media rights deal will play out. But where I see it in 10 years is a league of choice, hopefully, for European players, that maybe they'll choose to come play for an MLS team over, you know, a big name European club. I think that's the next level where it needs to get to.
When you look at your peers in soccer or in other sports, do you see this desire to join business world, do you see more and more people trying to create business ventures outside of sports?
I think definitely the financial literacy and I think the business acumen of athletes is growing. I think the demand is there. I think more and more athletes are coming to terms with the fact that it's important to be proactive and take initiative to be more than an athlete, if you will, to make connections, to network.
I wanted you to talk about the importance of having that sense of business acumen, financial literacy for athletes, for them to be able to build a career off the field.
I think in life in general, whether it's the business world or in sports, relationships go a long way. And so, your playing career only lasts so long that you have many, many more years ahead of you that are not going to be playing days. So it's both trying to prepare for that, but also about growing your wealth too. One of the reasons I joined 76 Capital was because with one of the partners there, Chad Stender, who we have a great relationship with, we wanted to build out what's considered now the AVG, Athlete Venture Group. And that's exactly what you were talking about, to provide athletes with these opportunities to get involved in venture. Some who are looking at, a different type of risk profile, diversify their portfolios, is to try to invest in these types of companies because we feel that, obviously with sports tech and sports investments, athlete does have value to give to these startups and companies while also learning and having that personal growth.
What value do you think athletes can bring to these companies they invest in or they get involved in addition to the capital they're putting in?
Athletes are more than just capital investors. I think, especially the ones that tend to be more active, they're really strategic partners. And that's how I view myself in a lot of the companies that I've invested in. Throughout the course of my career, I've been able to leverage my platform, my brand to become somebody that is build that trust, that has built that trust, right? With our networks and our relationships, we can help fast track certain companies to the limelight.
There's actually a really interesting study by Psychology Today saying that over 66% of CEOs at Fortune 500 companies used to play sports in college. So there's definitely huge overlapping qualities that drive success in both sports world and business worlds. For yourself, what type of lessons did you take from the sports world and apply to the business world that you feel like helped you succeed in different ventures?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great stat, and I think it's just a testament to that crossover, all the synergies between business folks and sports people. Whenever you're dedicated so much to a certain sport, I think you're gonna do whatever it takes to be successful. And I think that's what drives a lot of CEOs, and especially that's why I think I love being part of venture and early stage companies. I was always seen kind of that underdog, I have that underdog mentality in me. And I feel like that's how founders are, right? Especially a startup, they're maybe getting a lot of no's, rejected, turned down, but you got to be resilient. I go back to being resilient. You got to be able to overcome adversity.
And we were talking about your business ventures earlier. Are there any other ventures you would like to mention? Are there any things in the works you'd like to share?
Yeah, no, I think there's a few that I'm really passionate about lately that I think have been good investments. One is a paddle house. For those who don't know, paddle is a racket sport. It's taken Europe by storm, even South America, and everybody's more familiar a bit, I guess, with pickleball here in the States. This is more mainstream, but I'm obviously biased, and paddle is a way more dynamic, fun sport.
Did you play?
I played. Yeah, I played. So before I invested into it and got involved, I was playing with it every off season, and so it grew.
Wow.
It exploded in
Where
Nordics.
do you play? They have courts here? Or?
Yeah. So here in Philly, they have a few. There's a couple facilities that have courts. Even some of the country clubs have now added their courts to the facilities. But I used to play a lot in the off seasons. My wife is from Norway, so in the Nordics, paddle exploded. And so even right before COVID, I was seeing the growth, and I wanted to bring that to the States. And I connected with the founder, CEO, who's Santiago Gomez, a restaurateur, a former investment banker, restaurateur out of New York, and we just hit it off. And so that's one of the business ventures that I'm very passionate about. I love it. It gives me something post-playing career where I can get into another sport and play and try to master that. But the business itself is very good. It's growing very healthily.
What would you describe that has been the winning formula that propelled all of your successes?
Yeah, the winning formula, I would say self-belief, right? You have to have that belief in yourself. Don't be afraid to take risks. Get out of your comfort zone a little bit, you know. And I think as a captain, as a leader, and getting involved in different things, it's always been about, you know, managing that risk and not being afraid to take chances and challenge yourself, right? And I did that by going to Europe, to the unknown, the unfamiliar, and it's really helped me, you know, become a better person, a better player, and yeah, just be confident, stay confident, and be resilient. Resilient for me is I always use that. I love that word. I think it's so important in everybody's lives, and whatever you do in life is be able to be resilient.